if you're here and interested in the Tempest 200, then stick around because it's in this video, and I'm just going to have a run over of the pros and cons of this video. Well, more the cons, because we all know the pros. It's more the cons and what I've managed to find out over a few months of owning this tent, and the things that have come to light and the reasons why I would not buy this bivvy again. Hello people, I'd like to start this one by saying Happy New Year to everyone. We're over on the banks, it's the 1st of January and it's the start of 2021. And as we all know, let's hope it's a better year than last year. We did get over here last night, to be honest, didn't get the cameras out. We got over here late afternoon and it was starting to get dark already. New Year's, fancied a couple of beers, and it's my little one's birthday, so we see the new year in as a family on the bank. It's freezing. I have managed one last night, and I'll chuck a little picture of that in now. So we have managed one, but the rest of the night remained quiet, and most of today as well. Time's knocking on a little bit, as I've had a bit of a chill out and kept warm today. Boys done a bit of fishing, but it's not managed anything as yet. This one is a little bit different because I did come out back at the end of November, and yeah, some of the footage was pretty rubbish, so I couldn't quite make a vlog out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of that, and then we're going to chuck in a bit where I come out a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I'll just come away for a break to be honest, get away from life for a couple of days, and yeah, I didn't want to make a vlog. So we did have a couple of fish there as well. So we'll take you back, we'll have a look back and start from there. So let's go back to November. Got here last night, nice and quiet. There was only 2 people on at the far end. Luckily for me, come for a walk round. Me and the little one turned up, and yeah, had a walk round. Jumped in the bay, which is normally quite a busy swim. We've got a southwesterly blowing in this weekend, so it's literally coming straight up into this corner, which is perfect. It's not a cold wind. I mean, it is a little bit chilly, but it's not really a cold wind. It's a little bit shallower up this end, so that can cause problems, but I knew for well after last time I was over here that people was going to turn up on a Saturday and fill the other swims on the lake. Just went plain and simple last night and just chucked some pop-ups on combi rigs and slung them out on known spots. Now, by all accounts, I was the last person to catch a fish out of the lake, which was 2 weeks ago. And he's not done a fish since, which is slightly worrying, but you know, we'll see. If I can winkle one out, I've obviously done well. Apparently the day ticket's doing exactly the same. Maybe it's the weather, I don't know. We had 3 frosts last week, it's cold, it's got mild again, and maybe the fish just don't know what to do with themselves. So let's see if we can winkle one out and give it our best shot. You know, God loves a tryer and all. No sooner than I was saying that the lake hadn't done a bite for 2 weeks since I was last here and the last person to have one out. Moaning that it was quiet. There didn't seem to be a lot going on. Rod's pulled up tight and shot off. He's graced with his 24-pound 2 ounce mirror known as Lumpy. Now I'll show you the other side, and he's got a bit of a lump on him. He's got a broken rib, and yeah, he's lovely to see him again. He used a recapture, My missus did have him last year or the year before. You know, he's a known fish. He's lovely. Give me a proper scrap. Nice run around. And yeah, let's have a look at the other side and I'll show you his lump. So, not quite sure if you can make that out, as it is starting to get a little bit dark now. But on this side, which is the fish's left hand side, he's got a lump. Gives him his name, Lumpy. And yeah, gratefully received. Honestly made up. 2 weeks no fish. Rock up and have one out in less than 24 hours. I'm over the moon with that. Let's just say that maybe this new bait could be a new thing, eh? So needs a bit more testing. See if I'm really happy with it, but so far, well, the results speak for themselves, don't they? I'm gonna get him back, and yeah, let's hope we have some more. As you would have seen, I took a new bait over in November. So I've had my eye on this bait for a little while. I never actually got around to trying it out. Finally, I bought some and used it on my October trip when I went away for the week, and I purchased some of their renowned winter bait for this winter's campaign on my syndicate. Now, it's been very slow on it, and I've now done 3 trips and done a fish on every trip, which speaks for itself. You know, first trip out, done me a couple of fish, and well, what can I say really? Proof's in the pudding, and it's doing well since. So we'll leave it there. Let's take it back to a couple of weeks ago, where I come over for a quick, well, couple of nights. Weren't a quick overnight, is it? And yeah, we'll take you back to there. There's not a lot of video from this one, just a couple of fish. Needs a little look at that. There we go. So just shy of 18 pounds, and wow, yeah, after a few weeks away, to come back and have one in the first 24 hours again is blinding. I mean, this bait really showing what it can do now. Not spoken to anyone around the lake to see if anything's been out, so not sure what the circumstances are, but for me, the pulling power of this bait is phenomenal. There was no signs last night, so yeah, there we go. Beautiful common. It's like a block of ice. Water temperature's freezing, and yeah, we'll slip him back and get him back in his zone. Well, second one in the net. It's off a different spot, obviously, but just look at him. No words needed. He's half the size of the other one. He's probably about £10, but what an incredible fish. Winter colours already on him, dark, and the side of him, he's unbelievable, absolutely stunning, and definitely one for the future. I mean, don't get him like this too often, but we're getting back. He's not very happy, so we'll swing him back and save him for another day. Moving on from a couple of weeks ago, and you bring us up to date. So we're now still here, and the temperature has dropped somewhat. Now, last time I was over a couple of weeks, it was about 10 degrees, but it's proper drop now. It's pretty bloody cold. The thermals are out, the thick socks are out, the extra layers are on the bed chairs, and yeah, it's certainly a noticeable difference. Now, we come over to see the New Year in, and yeah, can't go anywhere else, so it's either a sit at home or come and spend some time on the lake with the family, which you apparently you're still allowed to do. So here we are. Managed one fish in. Didn't get much footage. It was just a quick shot on the iPhone because I'd only been here sort of 10 minutes, and I flicked the rods out and it just went immediately. I didn't even get the alarm switched on. I just put the rod down and couldn't believe my eyes when it tore off. And I think it'd be safe to say that I must have just dropped it on his head. So it was a quick clip of that one, as I had loads of sorting out to do still. So now it's Friday afternoon rather, and yeah, we've had a nice fry up this morning. Cafe's not open, obviously due to like corona reasons, so it's been a case of cooking up a storm. Bless my missus, she's cooked up a nice fry up for the three of us, and yeah, be dinner time soon I reckon before we know it. But we're going to get the rods in, have a little flick out of the rods, put some fresh baits on, and see if we can muster something up tonight. If not, probably be an early pack up tomorrow and get away pretty sharp, as the nights are drawing in and it's freezing cold. To be honest, we're doing nothing special. I'm literally fishing single hook baits with 4 or 5 squashed baits over the top of them, and yeah, just sort of aiming them around, seeing where, trying to find where the fish are. So we'll catch you in a bit. Morning people, it's Saturday morning and it's going home day. So as you've probably worked out already, it was a quiet night, not a lot happened at all. I had a couple of bleeps on my middle rod, but that was it, nothing else. We all managed a good night's sleep, so I guess in this weather it's not always a bad thing, but not too great for the fishing. So managed to one, and it's not a blank, so not all bad. And a couple of people turn up this morning, and they're around on the lake, so I think there's about 4 or 5 people on now. Not aware of anything else coming out, so we'll maybe catch up with them before I leave, but we'll see. Moving on into the year, got a couple of bits in the pipeline hopefully, but we're going to try and attend a few day ticket waters this year. And yeah, get out and do a bit more day tickets. I understand syndicate fishings and syndicate diaries aren't for everyone, and you know, we'll see. But what I am starting to do is have a look around at some day tickets, and yeah, I just wondered if any of you have got any sort of input, any you recommend, drop them down in the comments. Let's have a little look, and yeah, maybe we can sort of get you involved a bit more in this channel. Further on from that, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who has supported me for the last few months of vlogging. It's been an interesting one, it's been some lessons learnt, and it'd be nice to carry it on. There's been a bit of a lapse in the last few weeks as things have been a little bit chaotic, but going forward I'll keep rolling these out through the winter as long as I can fish and get on lakes. But apart from that, some more day tickets, and yeah, just try to keep bringing you better content every time. So bit of blab, bit of chat just to fill this vlog up because there's not a lot else happening. We are camping, but we will be packing up very soon and heading home, back to the warmth, back to work on Monday, so got to be done. Yeah, I'll try and catch up with you before I go. If I don't, I'll catch you later. Stay safe, happy New Year people, and be careful out there. this bit's for those of you that come here for the Tempest 200. Whether you watch to the end, thank you very much, or if you shot straight to the end just to find this piece, then why don't you watch my vlog? I'm joking. So this bit is just for the cons really, the bits I've found that I don't like about this bivvy. I've had this a little over 4 months, as you'd know if you've seen my other reviews, then you're probably here to watch this bit to find out the barefaced truth. Now there are a few, not bundles, but there are a few, and I'm going to run you through them quick. So we start from the top, work our way down, and I'll show you what I've found so far. So, should you buy the skull cap? Honest opinion, no, I won't bother. The only benefit you get from a skull cap is you get a tiny little peak at the front. Does it help with rain? To a degree. Does it break easily? Yes. Do you have to take it off every time you pack the bivvy down? Yes. Is it a pain? Yes. Now you've got the poles at the front, and as you can see on this bit here, both poles have come off. I've still got one remaining, but 2 out of 3 broken. It's never a good sign. So I'm not heavy-handed with this. I've not been brutal with it. You know, I've paid a lot of money for it. I look after it. I've had tons of my gear for years. So this is not just me being heavy-handed with this stuff that I'm about to show you. I have been fishing, I don't know, I've been fishing, carp fishing for 20 years and fishing for 25 plus, so you know I'm not an idiot. But anyway, off the track. The skull cap is rubbish. I won't bother, and I don't even use it. If you look now, it's not on. Why? Because it's a pain in the arse and it's broken. Moving on from the skull cap, you'll see that this pole does not hold on. Sorry about the focus. The pole that comes over under pressure has bent. Now I found it out properly. I put it out the best way you possibly can, and it still managed to bend. So that's great, and I dare say I can probably buy a replacement pole for this. But from what I've seen online, what's the point in contacting Trakker? They're only going to charge me for a new pole. Surely an £800 bivvy shouldn't bend. Tell me I'm wrong. So the pole's bent, the catch falls off, and then the front's all loose and saggy. There is nothing I can do about it but replace the pole that goes over the top to hold it taut. So moving down to from there, you've got the poles at the front. Now they are okay, but they don't hold up very well. The second they get damp, the pole starts sliding down a bit, and let's just say that your front goes all saggy. This may not bother some people, but again, it's just one of them stupid things that I think Trakker have supplied cheap poles to go on the front. And when you're spending that sort of money for a Tempest 200, why should you have to buy these things? You know, they're charging top whack. It should be a top-notch bivvy. So, you know, move on from the poles. You've got the front. Now the front has to zip off every time you pack it down, and then when you put it up you have to zip it on, which to some people might not be a big ordeal, but it's just another thing that takes time. When you get here late, like me, I'm a worker. I work all week. I come here on a Friday night. I don't have a lot of time. You know, I just want to be able to set my tent up and not have to zip everything on and zip everything off when it comes to packing down. It just adds time. It's a stupid thing, and to some people it's not a big deal, but to me it's become a pain in your backside, and I almost swore. Yeah, it's one of them. You either bothers you or it don't. Moving on from that, move inside, and to be fair, it's, you know, it's a bivvy. What more do you expect from it? No real complaints there. The inner capsule, it does what it's meant to do, but my God, is it a tedious pain in the backside. it takes quite a while to do up somewhat 30 odd noggin things that go through the holes and clips and hang on. Yes, it works. Is it a pain in the backside? Yes, massively. Do I swear and curse every time I have to put it in and take it out? Yes, I bloody do. Would I give it up today and swap it for an overwrap? In a heartbeat. Would I ever consider using any inner capsule on any bivvy that has to come out and go back in every time? I would never use one again. Literally, it has to come out and it has to go back in. You cannot leave it in there, and it is a pain in the backside. It really is. Yeah, I mean, you can't be without it this time of year, otherwise the condensation would be ridiculous and you'd be cold in there. So it has to go in, and it is a pain. But over and above that, I mean, once you've spent 15 minutes hanging it up, it's yeah, it's great. But again, you'd prop a bivvy up, you chuck the skin over, you'd peg it all down, and it's job done, isn't it? So yeah, I guess the only plus side you get from inner capsule is that you get a double ground sheet, which, you know, who's sitting in there barefoot or in their socks anyway in the winter? No one with half a brain. The last complaint on this list, which is quite a big one really, I suppose, is that an elastic has already gone in one of the poles. Now, some people might say, oh, what have you been doing with it? No, every single pole is perfect except one, and the elastic has completely snapped in it. Now, I say it's snapped. This snapped about, don't know, 4 sessions ago. And yeah, so it mustered a few sessions and an elastic went. Yeah, they're clipped in and whatever, they're the same as the Pramod style and they're screwed in. But you need your elastic to hold it all in place and keep it where it's meant to be. It's ridiculous. You spend £800 of your hard-earned cash on a bivvy and it starts falling apart. So that's an elastic gone in a pole bent on the roof, a shot to bits skull cap, and bars that don't do up very well. So I'd say that's a pretty poor attempt, and as I previously stated, from what everyone said about Trakker, is they won't deal with you with the public. And I bought this bivvy from Angling Direct. Now, if you know Angling Direct and you know Trakker, you know it's not worth bothering or wasting your breath or energy even contacting these people. But what I will do is say that these Tempest 200s are not worth the money that you pay for them. Would I ever buy one again? No. Categorically, 100% no. I would not waste my bloody money that I've worked hard for to pay for one. For the people that are asking, would I recommend it? No. Don't buy it. I don't, at this moment, have something to tell you to go and buy. But I wouldn't recommend you buy one of these, to be honest. I would say swerve it and yeah, buy another one. I'm sure Trakker will love it if they actually watch this video, and I don't care. At the end of the day, don't take honest people's hard-earned money and sell them trash for it. I don't know what to buy. Maybe try a Fox. Fox seem to make good bivvies, and that's probably where I'll head to next. Will I have this bivvy for long? No, I don't think I will, because I don't think it's going to last the test of time. If it lasts me a year's worth of fishing, I would say that I have done bloody well out of this bivvy, which by track records I'd say is pretty shocking. I've never paid this much for a bivvy. It's the first and the last time. I would rather buy a £200-300 bivvy, I think, and if it lasts me a year, I'd swallow it. That's a lot better than an £800 bivvy that lasts a year. Yes, it's big. Yes, it's perfect for people who take their missus or their family fishing with them, or for long trips abroad. But would I buy it for my fishing again? No. So, sorry people for anyone who's bought it off of my last recommendations or reviews, but as I did say, it was a first initial review on what my first thoughts was of it, and they've changed somewhat. I did also say that I would do a later on review after I've used it for a bit and give you an honest update of what I thought, and this is it. So to summarise, it's not a terrible bivvy, but it's certainly not great. It's not worth £800 in my opinion, and I would never ever consider buying another one. So make of that what you will. Again, this is my opinion and everyone else is entitled to their own. But for now, that is me over and out. I do have some more reviews coming up in the future, and yeah, see you on the other side. Take it easy people, and I'll catch you soon.